What's up, YouTube? With regards to Shaq Leonard, these are my thoughts. I hear he went and visited with the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was the end of last week, and then this week he came and visited with the Eagles. And we still neither team has, from what I understand, made an offer. Obviously he hasn't accepted anything. I think he wanted to do both and then make his decision. Now, here's why I wouldn't be surprised if he did go with the Dallas Cowboys, as opposed to the Philadelphia Eagles. First off, I don't know him, of course, personally, obviously, and even as far as a player, I didn't follow him closely. Now I knew he was a top linebacker, middle linebacker in the league, so I knew that, but I didn't read articles about him. I didn't really follow press conferences. And I say that to say I don't have any insight as to his mentality, the type of player that he is, the type of man that he is, what he wants out of the game. So when I say I don't know him, that's what I mean. I have no idea, what he wants. Now, typically what happens with players is they're going to go for whatever team is making the best offer financially. That's typically what happens. Now, I understand there are some tax exemption and tax considerations. I believe Texas is a better state when it comes to that. I mean, that's if he decides to move there, I guess. Whereas Philadelphia isn't. I guess it's better weather there, And kind of my thing is, if a guy cares about weather and that sort of thing, I don't need to really have that guy on my team anyway, because I'm one of them people. I don't only look at just talent and ability. I also like the mentality. I like a certain mentality with a player. For me, listen, he's definitely a bigger need for Philadelphia than he is for Dallas, I think. It would be a blow, I think, to us if Dallas were to get him over us because of the need. And then also, Dallas' defense has already performed better than the Philadelphia Eagles' defense by and large this year. So that would actually be a boost for them and a hurt piece for us, in Philadelphia. But this is the thing. When he goes to meet Dallas, he's meeting Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a guy with a very good resume. He's the architect behind, the greatest defense in recent memory, which is the Legion of Boom, led by Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner, and all those guys. And Dan Quinn also has been, I believe, a head coach with the Falcons. Or was he the head coach, or was he there? I believe he's the head coach with the Falcons. He does have some bad stuff on his record in terms of losing there, but by and large, as a defensive coordinator, he's respected, considered by many to be one of the best, that sort of thing. And some guys might, that would be attractive to some veteran guys. He might want to play under Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn can boast, okay, I've had this defense in the past. I've had that defense in the past. He can show him that he'll play a Bobby Wagner type role, That's the type of pitch that a Dan Quinn can make. Whereas the Philadelphia Eagles, they went with Sean Desai, which is typical of the Philadelphia Eagles ownership. Listen, I believe Jeffrey Lurie is a great owner, one of the best owners, in the NFL. I believe Howard Roseman may be the best GM in the NFL. However, no owner, no GM is perfect. They don't do everything right all the time, and I think one of the mistakes they make, which works out for them sometimes, but one of the mistakes they make is in choosing the coaching staff, like the pool they go into and the thought process behind it. The Philadelphia Eagles ownership typically go after young guys who they think are bright, who may not have a pedigree, may not have a track record yet, and they offer an opportunity for them to establish themselves here, make their track record. You can go back to Andy Reid. Well, his first hire was Ray Rhodes, and Ray Rhodes came in with that team of John Gruden and everything. But then after that didn't last long. After that, instead of taking John Gruden, and kind of making him, I think John Gruden may have left already, but instead of like going with that, making an offer to him, he went and found Andy Reid in Green Bay, who was a quarterbacks coach, and he gave them the keys to a quarterbacks coach based off of a good interview. That worked for him. So oftentimes that's what he does. Now Andy Reid, of course, went with a great defensive coordinator, Jim Johnson, who had a pedigree, who he allowed Andy Reid to choose the type of defensive coordinator he wanted, and that worked out. Here, he went with a Sean Desai, whereas me, I wanted like a guy like a Rex Ryan, okay, or even a Greg Williams, but really I wanted Rex Ryan, because I just thought Rex Ryan would have been the perfect guy to bring here. You're talking about Buddy Ryan's son. You're talking about the architect behind the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, okay, which is the greatest defense since the 85 Bears. You talk about them amongst the greatest, ever. A guy who was a head coach, all of those different things. And that's what I wanted. But the Philadelphia Eagles decided to go with a Sean Desai. For some reason, they love Nick Fangio and they love the Fangio disciples. I do not understand why they love it so much. I guess they're doing a little bit more research than I am. I guess they're looking at more film than I am, listening to more arguments than I am. I get that. But when you look at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. When you really look at the end result of it, I don't see this fascination with the Fangio defenses. Now, just imagine if you had Rex Ryan, and then you get a situation like this with Shaq Leonard. He goes and meets with, Dan Quinn, who offers his pitch. Then he comes to Philadelphia and meets with Rex Ryan, who offers his pitch. You see what I mean? That's when you have a better situation. So, I wouldn't be shocked if Shaq Leonard decides, okay, I can work with Dan Quinn, whose defense has already performed better, and it isn't all just talent. It's just something in the way these guys are being coached, especially in the secondary, because you can't convince me, Darius Slay and James Bradbury are that much worse than a Deron Bland and a Gilmore. And then the safeties, you got Kevin Byard. We have Reed Blankenship. You can't convince me they're much worse than Curse and Malik Hooker and those guys that Dallas had. You can't convince me that. There's something about the scheme, and there's something in the way they're being coached. Dallas Cowboys secondary men obviously have more freedom to jump balls and be more aggressive and so on. Whereas, I don't know, Eagles corners, they're not as aggressive back there. They don't attack the ball when it's in the air. And I just don't see where a Rex Ryan would be worse. I think Rex Ryan would be much better, But I don't know. I think they're looking at Rex Ryan might not have been a good fit with Sirianni. Maybe he wouldn't respect Sirianni, wouldn't listen to him. But maybe that's what you need. Sirianni's not a defensive guy. Let him have a defensive guy that has control of it, man. Sometimes that's the best thing. And this city will go crazy, man, if the son of Buddy Ryan was the coach here. And I don't think they're considering those things, man. Listen, Sean Desai hasn't been horrible, but let's be real, man. What is our standard? Is being 28th against the pass good? Jeffrey? Howie, that's good enough to you? If your offense was 28th, I don't think you would accept that. So why do you accept it on the part of the defense? I don't get it, man. So, and then, so Shaq Leonard might do it just because of Dan Quinn. I don't believe this nonsense about, like delusional Cowboys fans who believe that Shaq Leonard will want to go there because it's playing. You get to play for the star and the most so-called prestigious franchise, in the NFL and all that stupid stuff. And honestly, if that is his mindset, then yeah, I don't even want him anyway. That dude's a loser. That's the type of stuff you care about. I respect him making a decision based on two things. If it's based off of you feel Dan Quinn is better than Desai, or you can see yourself performing better with this defense than with ours, I understand that. Dallas' defense is ranked higher. I get it. Or if you're just going to take whoever has the most money. I absolutely respect that as well. Whoever's offering the most money. If Jerry Jones and them are offering more money than Howie Roseman, then shame on Howie, because you're the one that's in need there, So we'll see, man. With that, those are my thoughts on the Shaq Leonard situation, man. Peace.